Oh, jeez. I'm, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. Adult Swim's Justin Roiland decision means that Rick and Morty voices will be recast as co-creator leaves the show over allegations. So, a lot of you may be aware that Justin Roiland has been in the news a little bit lately in regards to charges that he copped in 2020 relating to domestic battery and things like that. And a lot of people out there still think that that's like the only thing. That's the only thing that's caused this. But no, there are other allegations. There are other allegations at the moment. I'm not going to comment on if they're true or anything like that because there's a little part of me that's thinking that they're a little bit sus, but I'll talk about it at the end. Popular US cartoon Rick and Morty will continue without its co-creator and voice of the two title characters after Adult Swim cut ties with Justin Roiland while he faced domestic violence charges involving an ex-girlfriend. Now, it's a little bit more than that, but again, we'll get into it at the end. The voices of US comedy characters Rick and Morty will be recast after the show's co-creator Justin Roiland was dropped amid domestic violence allegations against him. The 42-year-old who co-created the Adult Swim animated series and voices the two title characters has been charged over an incident involving an ex-girlfriend. He denies the allegations. Rick and Morty has aired for 6 seasons on Cartoon Network as part of its Adult Swim nighttime programming block and has been renewed for a 7th. So even though apparently the original contract, pardon me, even though the original contract was for 10 seasons because the first couple of seasons absolutely blew everybody away, and I will say about Rick and Morty, I enjoy the show. Some of the seasons and episodes are a bit hit and miss. You know, it's not constant bangers, but there are parts of the show that have made me let out a hearty guffaw now and then. And I do like the characters. I do like the characters. I like the premise of the show. I enjoy it. A statement, because of my high IQ, a statement from Adult Swim said the popular US cartoon would continue despite the writer's absence. And see, one thing that they do whenever they change the voice of like iconic characters, yeah, nah, it's not going to work. I don't think it's going to work. I think it's going to die after season 7. Sharp phone. A statement released online by Adult Swim on Tuesday said Adult Swim has ended its association with Justin Roiland. Rick and Morty will continue. The talented and dedicated crew are hard at work on season 7. A criminal complaint filed by prosecutors in May 2020 and seen by NBC News charged Roiland with corporal injury and false imprisonment by menace, fraud, and violence or deceit against the woman who he was living with at the time. The woman was not identified in court documents. Roiland has pleaded not guilty. The charges concern an incident in January of 2020, and Roiland was charged in May of that year. However, the charges apparently went unnoticed by media outlets until NBC News reported on them. No, they were out there. They were out there. They were out there for a little while. It's just nobody really seemed to give a fuck, which is, slightly unusual when it comes to a celebrity. But there were other things that came out. But again, save it for the end. Further documents seen by NBC News show Roiland was arrested and released on a $50,000 bond in August 2020 before returning to court in October 2020. A protective order put in place in October 2020 and remaining in place until October 2023 says he must not harass, threaten, or surveil the person named in the protective order and cannot go within 100 feet of the person. He was also ordered to turn in any firearms that he owned or possessed. Roiland's lawyers has insisted he is innocent and said he is looking forward to clearing his name. He is expected to return to court in April, but a trial date has not yet been set. Now, the fact that apparently this event that he was involved in, the incident happened in the January but wasn't reported until the May, and then he wasn't arrested until like a few months later. One thing that is quite common is sometimes a jealous ex might say a few things, they might just lie and all that type of stuff. Yeah, it's just something that happens. Just something that exes do. But again, if it is true, then obviously, if it's something that he did in fact do, then yes, he should face some charges. If he used violence against a person, then yeah, well, tough shit. You're getting charged for that. You shouldn't do that. But Adult Swim knew about this. At least I'm assuming that they must have known about this. And some people in the public did know, it just didn't get a lot of traction. So people are saying, well, if this happened 2 years ago and if Adult Swim might have known about it, why are they only just firing him now? And it's because other stuff came out. But this stuff isn't confirmed, and even I'm still a little bit on the fence. It turns out that one thing I would advise everybody to do, because when I started getting big on YouTube, I had other people coming to me and saying the same thing. Don't message fans. Don't message. Not don't message fans, like don't have talks with them. Don't message fans of the opposite gender. Don't. Don't at all. And especially, don't message fans of the opposite gender who are underage. Like, that's not something I ever did anyway. Sometimes I would get the odd message going, oh, hi, I'm in school and I love your videos. And I would just go like, thanks, man. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. And that's all you say. That is it. Conversation is over at that point. They took their time out their day. They send you a nice little message. You sent a nice little message back, and there is no need to continue the conversation any further. Right? That is some great advice that I would give to all the EDPs of the world out there. No need. You've no business. You've no business messaging someone of that age. Now, allegedly, Roiland was unfortunately doing just that. And the content of the messages is obviously the standard being creepy and all that type of stuff, and there was a bunch of them. There was a bunch of them that came out. But this is the bit where I've got a problem, is some of the DMs, at least the ones that I've seen, were like him in character doing it, and he was calling them like, he was calling these underagers like bundles of sticks, but like trying to act like he was Rick. And he was saying stuff like, wow, you're jailbait. Do you enjoy being jailbait? And it's just like, who goes into a conversation like doing that? Hi there, I'm Justin Roiland, the very easily identifiable person messaging you from the official Justin Roiland account. Do you like being jailbait? God, you're such jailbait. I wish you weren't underage. That is what's making me go, I don't know. I hope they're not real. I hope that none of them are real. I hope these interactions didn't actually take place. But see if they are real. It's not just the fact that he was messaging like underagers. It's the fact that he was doing it while like acting like Rick and Morty. And I'm like, that's not funny. That's not funny at all. And that's what bothers me. But I think that those messages all coming out, Adult Swim have looked into it, and even though like the charges from like 3 years ago kind of got ignored or something, I think that these messages coming out are what did it, where Adult Swim went, yeah, like the domestic battery, yeah, we were kind of having that in the back burner, we could ignore that for a little bit. These DMs that are all coming out though, different story, and that's why he was shit canned. And that's why he's not been posting on Twitter, and he's kind of just vanished and everything like that. Because, like, see if DMs were fake, I would be out there going like that. Those are fake as fuck. I did not fucking send those. Justin has been very quiet. And it's just, I hope they're fake. I hope they're fake, because it's not even a case of like messaging a child. Who messages a child like that? It's not even... You know what's worse than nonsense? Being cringe while you're nonsense. Right, that's the worst part. That's what makes it worse. I mean, if you're going to nonce, at least be cool a bit. That was a bad joke even for me. But like, yeah, but again, the stuff involving the domestic battery, yes, he has in fact been charged. That's been established. Whether or not he actually did do it, well, that's to be determined in court. As for the DMs, right, they're out there. You know, you can go online and you can find them. They were all over Twitter when the stuff about the domestic battery came out. They're all over the place. But I did notice some where I was looking at them and going, right, those seem clearly fake. But then there was others where I was like, maybe they're true or something. I don't know. But as of now, it is all just allegations, which I hope are false. I hope are false. But, yeah. Oh, geez.